Hi friends, welcome back. So let's get ready to Bible journal the second book of Samuel. All right, my friends, I have it ready to go a little bit here. I just ripped some of my paper and I think I'm going to go ahead and just set this over here like I've been doing for the other weeks. I really enjoy this format. And I've also written my points on these little like calendar stickers from Avalon and Ninth. And so I think that's what I'm going to do. We're going to start with that. Let me get out my glue runner. And then we'll get into all of this, all of the notes. I'm excited because I really, really like the book of Samuel. He's definitely one of my favorites. I love the stories of David and the rise and fall of Saul. Let me see. I don't need to go all the way to the bottom, I don't think. Okay. So I'm going to start underneath the washi tape that I've already stuck there. And I'm just going to put this, sorry if I'm not in frame, this is a bigger journal than the space I have here where I'm staying. Okay, there we go. That looks really good. And then I'm going to trim off this extra piece here. Let me grab my scissors. We'll get these notes done. I'm behind. I've been behind on my Bible, not my Bible reading, just my Bible journaling. But I keep all my quick notes like I showed you guys in my regular journal. This is just one that I do for fun and because I really enjoy using up all the extra stuff that I have, and it's been really fun. Okay, so that is that. And I have my 6 points. Sometimes I won't always have 6 points, but again, I do in this one. So I'm going to take 3 and 4 and kind of center these, I think here. I'm not going to, actually, I think I'm going to put it all the way over. We're just going to kind of go like that and see how it fits. Oops, hit that one a little bit. I really like these functional stickers from Avalon and Ninth. Yeah, I think that looks good. Like that. And then we'll do 1 and 2 at the top. I'm going to have to find some more stickers after I use all these up, though. There, perhaps. And is it 2? I might need to scoot down 3. So I'm going to put those down, and then I'm going to lift up 3, put it kind of down just a tad so I can fit these in here. And then let's put 1 here. There we go. Okay, that looks really good. I like that. So after that, let me see what I want to do now. I think what I'm going to do is just go ahead and write my stuff. So what pen did I want to use? I think I was using, I always like to match it to this one if I have that one still. Let me see. I'm kind of resetting for May and June right now. Let's see if I have a gray. Not sure if I do. So we might be switching to a blue. Yeah, we're going to switch to a blue. So I think I'm going to use this one here. Let's use, so these are dot markers and I really enjoy them, but they also have a writing utensil on the other side. So it makes it really nice for different things. And also when you bubble letter with these, they make them kind of more round, and I enjoy the look of that as well. All right, let's see how I did this because I've forgotten. Okay, so I want 2 different, yeah. So let me grab another color, maybe like the orange, salmon orange color that I have. Let's see, where's that one? Here. Okay, let's use both of these. And let me tell you the colors because these do actually have names. I think this is salmon. Oh, island coral. And this one is, oops, this way. What color does this one say? Denim. So those are the 2 colors that I'm going to use. And then we'll do the very first one here is going to be David's crowned king. So that's this one. After all the hiding and everything that he went through. Oh, whoops. Hiding in caves, you know, showing his worthiness. David's crowned king. And then that is, let me Get my notes over here. That's chapter 1 through 5. And then the little thought that I want to write down here is that God establishes David over all Israel. And then I also want to say over here, God's anointed shepherd, because he was a shepherd, and it's symbolizing, of course, Christ. Shepherd king, I'm going to put, okay. And then number 2 would be the ark, oops, wrong pen. The ark comes to Jerusalem. And this is, I think, just 6, right? Yeah, just this is chapter 6. So I'm just going to put 6:1 through 6:23. So I have that in there. And then worship returns to the heart of the nation. And I'm going to also say that the kingship begins with God at the center, and then because he really wants to honor God. So first I'll put worship. Returns. The heart of the nation. And then again, I wanted to put in here that a true kingship begins with God. So you can see how him being a true king, he is a true king here. Not like Saul, although Saul was good at first. His downfall was that he just cared what other people think more than God. Okay. And then this third one would be the Davidic covenant. So let's put that. I think this is all of 7, right? Yes, just chapter 7. Is that right? I think it's chapter 7 through something else. So I have to look. I didn't finish my notes on that. So I'll look and see later and fill that in. Okay. And so God promises an eternal throne to David's home, to his house. And God promises to stand by David forever. So just basically God promises through, obviously we know through Christ. An eternal throne to David's house. And God stands by David forever. Through Jesus Christ, once Christ comes into the picture, then that's God's showing that love to the Jewish line through Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, all the way through David. And this is the promise that God gave. And then once Christ fulfills his church and starts his church, then that obviously shifts to the Christians, but still loving that relationship with David. Okay, so the next one, 4, is the sin with Bathsheba. He just gets older and stops going out and fighting as much, which, I get that you would want that anyway. And this is 11 through 12, so I'm pretty sure this is through 10. So we're just going to put that there. And then with that, let's say, hidden sin brings open consequences. So there is no such thing as hidden sin. I was just reading about this as well, that, you know, nothing's hidden before God. So when we go up there to have our little opening, like a little thing before God, everyone's going to know what everyone did. I actually think that that's so good. Nothing is done in secret, even Christ said it. Consequences. And then what's my other little note that I had? Even great men fall, and humility opens the way back. So that's my other note. Even great men. That's why you can't put your faith in man. And fall, and humility. That's it. Because after he realizes his sin, he fasts and prays. Way back. Okay. Awesome. I love that. Okay. Number 5 is Absalom's rebellion. So obviously Absalom is David's son, if you do not know, and he is in the line to be king. But then because David also had some issues with being a parent, which don't we all? And this is 13 through 19. Because of that, you know, he killed his brother because of what happened to his sister, and then, you know, David abolishes him. So family fractures and kingdom, and the king fractures and the kingdom shakes. So family fractures, because that's what happened, kind of tore the wives and the different children. And kingdom shakes. Shakes. What did I put here? God judges sin, yet keeps his mercy. Okay, and then the last point here is restoration and legacy. So let me put that down. And legacy. And this is 20 through 24. And let me see what I have to say here is David returns to worship. God's promise endures. And then from David's line will come our eternal king. So David returns to worship. God's promise endures. And then from David, which is the Davidic covenant, David's line will come the eternal king. Oops, I spelled that wrong. Eternal king. Okay, perfect. All right, now I am going to put my little notes over here that I usually do. Let me see what I want to put here. I think I'm going to go ahead and draw my little sign that I do. Where's that pen? Let's see, I think I'll just use this one. We'll try to make it look cute. So let's see how I can do with this one. Okay, so we're going to draw my little fence posts that I really enjoy, these little like fence posts, which are like the key moments. And then why it matters down here. So I'm going to try to put my fence post. Do I want to do it there? I think I want to leave room for my church notes there. So let me draw, is it 3 notes? Yes. So let me just draw 3 little lines here. There we go. And then we'll draw our little line through here. And this is our fence post with our points, which I don't have all my regular colored markers here to color, so I need to get those. But so I will be coloring that in later, but I will write in here what the key points, the 3 top points of Samuel, which is the king, David's made king, and then the covenant, which is very important because that talks about Christ, and then legacy, again referring to Christ. Legacy, okay. There we go. And then I want to write my bullet points over here and write my why it matters. So I'm going to use this marker for this one and go why it matters. And then we're going to do 1, 2, and 3 here. Okay. And then the first one is it shows how God builds a kingdom through both triumph and failure. I mean, God can do all things. And failure continues to grow. And then reveals the covenant that points directly to the Messiah. And this was of course, the last covenant. The first one was the law of sacrifice, and then this was the fulfilling of that, which changed from that to the new one. Points directly to the Messiah. And then it teaches that genuine repentance restores broken people. And I love this. That genuine repentance restores broken people. Okay. And then I'm going to put a little note up here. Obviously, I want to write 2 Samuel, so let's do that first. 2 Samuel. And then I'm going to just use my regular pen, I think. And I have that 2 Samuel teaches that God's covenant stands firm even when his people fail. So that's what I want to write up here. So let me go and put that down here. 2 Samuel. Where was I? 2 Samuel teaches that God's covenant stands firm even when his people fail. It gives me so much hope. I love it so much. So then there's the little motif, which I don't know if I have room. Let me see. David's rise, fall, and rises again, while God's covenant endures forever. So that's kind of the thought, but basically that's what that is there. So, but I do want to write that little note down here, so I'm going to write that down here. David reigns, falls, and rises again, while God's covenant stands. Oh, God's covenant endures, I should say. Yeah, messed up. Endures. God's covenant endures forever. Okay. And those are my notes from 2 Samuel. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm wishing you a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.